In the episode Rip Pants, SpongeBob does his best to please people by ripping his pants. And it works. For a while, at least. SpongeBob and Sandy are having a grand old time just chilling on the beach. Then SpongeBob gets this look in his eye. He wants to make Sandy laugh, so he starts cracking jokes. The jokes are simple and they work. Then Larry distracts Sandy and SpongeBob gets jealous. He follows them to Muscle Beach. There, Larry's showing off his lifting abilities, then Sandy does the same. And everyone cheered. SpongeBob though, you see, he can't people please by lifting weights because, well, he has nothing to show off. He keeps trying, this time with marshmallows, but he still struggles. Then it happens. No, he doesn't lift the marshmallow weights, if you can even call it that. He rips his pants. He's embarrassed at first, but then the attention gets to his head. He found a new way to make people laugh, especially this guy. So he plans out his next gags and they're all about, you guessed it, rip pants. He sticks with the gag because it consistently makes Sandy laugh. But
all that glitters is not gold.
We witness the first unenthusiastic response from the ice cream man after SpongeBob says,
How about ripple?
Suddenly, SpongeBob isn't funny anymore, he's just plain intrusive. He bothers people while they're eating and working. But SpongeBob can't let the joke die. He can't leave behind the glory days of 2 minutes ago. He has to latch onto this joke because it's all he has. So he kicks it up a notch. He joins a surfing competition and pretends to get washed up on the beach. We get this dramatic moment from the lifeguard. Then SpongeBob delivers the most dramatic speech in existence. Seriously though, SpongeBob is sleeping on a hidden talent here. He's a theater kid and just doesn't know it. Of course, the joke doesn't land and everyone's pissed off. Even his biggest fan expresses disappointment.
Dude.
SpongeBob goes back to the drawing board, saying to himself,
Think! Your public's waiting.
Seriously though, he should apply for some acting roles. He tries again, but everyone's gone. He's a one-hit wonder. That's when he meets the other losers on the beach, their words not mine, and he's able to be vulnerable with a song.
I know I shouldn't mope around, I shouldn't curse.
His singing voice though. He learns his lesson. Stop trying to impress others and simply be yourself. Sandy even flat out says the lesson in case your 8-year-old brain didn't get it in 1999. So SpongeBob learns to not people please anymore, and we get the final joke to tie everything together. But does SpongeBob actually learn his lesson? Because in the episode Muscle Bob Buff Pants, something similar happens. SpongeBob flexes his twiggy arms in front of the mirror and lifts a bar with teddy bears attached to each end. He's clearly improved from the previous episode, but when Sandy walks in, she says,
You won't see any progress lifting those.
Come on, Sandy, don't you remember the marshmallows? Give the sponge some credit. Sandy trains SpongeBob, but goes a little too extreme, so SpongeBob quits. He then learns about anchor arms from an ad on TV and says,
I want to be just like him.
Sponge, don't do it, Sponge. What happened to being yourself? So he shows up on the beach with giant pink arms. Everyone's impressed, especially Larry the Lobster. The anchor arms didn't actually make him strong because he can't even lift the straw out of his drink. Sandy, seeing how buff SpongeBob is, signs him up for the anchor toss competition. Of course, he struggles to lift the anchor and plays it off as a joke.
Just kidding.
It works for a second, and after a couple more tries, his arms literally explode. Sandy looks at him like a disappointed mother, and she continues to train him, this time with a program modified specifically for SpongeBob. But the worst case of SpongeBob trying to impress someone to his own detriment occurs in the episode Tea at the Tree Dome. This is actually the episode where he meets Sandy for the first time. After getting invited to her house, SpongeBob gets confused when Sandy mentions that her home is filled with air. He then asks Patrick what air is, and he says it's just fancy talk.
If you want to be fancy, hold your pinky up like this.
SpongeBob naively accepts this as a fact and shows up at Sandy's house with his pinky up. But when the water gets drained out, he panics. Sandy's unaware of his struggle since he acts as if everything's fine.
That's how I like my air.
He wants to impress Sandy so badly that he risks his own life doing so. As time passes, it becomes more and more difficult for SpongeBob to live without water. But he's committed. This is Sandy's first impression of him. He can't mess it up. He tells himself repeatedly,
I don't need it.
after a while, he fucking snaps. He can't take it anymore and he tries to leave.
I need it!
That's when Patrick joins so he can show SpongeBob that there's nothing to fear. Well, he also panics.
What kind of place is
And
this?
Sandy says, if you wanted water, you should have just asked. In the end, SpongeBob's attempts at people-pleasing did not work out. He only made situations that could have played out relatively simply devolve into chaos. Thankfully, Sandy, being the voice of reason, is able to knock some sense into him each time. Being himself is the best thing he can do for everyone involved. Well, unless Squidward's there. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video so I can make more. Have the best day ever, and I'll see you next time.